What the fuck? Hold on, we're not going part two. I decided to just replace the carburetor since this guy is a commercial contractor. Needs his shit tight, right? So I changed the oil, and I'm changing the oil in the compressor. Looks like a fucking cream pie video. I'm going to get into this unloader as soon as I put the oils back in the engine and everything is cool. And I'll show you how to do that. I figured I'd spare you guys the details of changing the oil and shit, because that's pretty fucking simple. So, all you gotta do... Good fucker. My fucking phone. Baba Booey. Hey man, what's up? No, I'm working on your shit right now. Turnout gear and Timberland boots. What are you wearing? Right on. Yeah, it should be done this afternoon. Not really sure if there's any damage to the compressor from the water that was in there, but this thing was fucking swimming, bro. Back and forth in there quite a bit. They get fucky, and then on top of that, the guy started fucking with it, so we'll... Alright, so we're going to put a new plug in there, gap it. Yep, that's gapped. Put a little dinosaur shit on the threads. Make sure you got a rubber boot in your socket. Never start or install a spark plug with an impact. Holy fuck. Well, I knew the guy was fucking with it, but I didn't know how bad. The way this works is the tank pressure comes in to this valve here, and once the pressure gets high enough, it snaps this little valve undone, and this thing comes up. And that compressed air then leaks out of here, or here. Yeah, this one here. Fuck. Ah, fuck. Anytime you're taking something apart that's got compressed air in it, make sure you drain the air out, but you go to unscrew the part, turn your fucking head anyway. Alright, well I took this apart on the bench, cleaned out all the gunk, put it back on, set the differential, quarter turn, backed off from where it bottoms. This is the pressure screw. It kicked at 60 psi, so just cranked it up a little bit more. I want the bottom pressure at, it's supposed to be 90. Yeah, we'll go 90, it'll kick back in. And then the max pressure, we got to adjust that too. Well, I've had this thing apart like 2 or 3 times now, and it's still doing the same fucking fluttering of that throttle valve. I'm going to just replace the unloader because I took it apart. I don't see anything wrong with it, with the exception of the shaft and the pilot valve. Looks like it's kind of fucked off to one side, and the guy was fucking with this thing, so he might have actually bent the shaft in the pilot valve or tweaked the whole body. Something's going wrong. But when this thing hits max pressure, it's supposed to let air come up into here, and it pulls back on the throttle valve, and it's just flittering back and forth to the point where it's a blur, man. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So, one more day. Alright, so I put a new unloader on there. I took this thing apart for like 50, 60th time, and I determined that that little pin was actually bent. That goes in and out there, and that's why it was fluttering like that. Took forever and a day to get the new one, but it's working the way it's supposed to now. And I got it started, and the fucking gas I put in it had water in it, so I was still like, what the fuck, man? This thing still ain't right, but cut the gas out of there, put some fresh shit in it. This is how this works. You unload it like that. That way you can start it. Compressor's not loaded. Start the engine, flip this down, thing builds air, kicks off when it hits 150 psi, kicks back in when it hits 120. Now you can adjust that, but that's the factory specs on this thing, and this is kind of made for a roofing contractor, so that's the parameters that you want. We should be good. Let's fire it up and see what happens. Pussy good. Thanks for watching.